team play at this facility a couple of times before. What does it do for your players to know they have an opportunity to play in a major league stadium?
I think the big thing for us is that we know we're going to play, weather-wise, and for us as well. It's about 5 hours south of us, and a little bonding time for us. Take a bus, hang out, and it's just been a good experience for us. Even when you lose games, you feel like you're getting better. You get a workout in on Thursday. You're going to play 3 games, three really good teams. And like I said last year, it's always sunny and 72 in there. And if you're scheduling at home or even at outdoor stadium, just about anywhere this time of the year, it still can be a little iffy. I mean, we went to a tournament in Central Texas a few years back, and we played Stanford, and the weather actual temperature was 33. The feel like temperature was like 20, and the wind was howling, and it was miserable. And to make it even worse, we got beat. So, yeah, it's a great experience, and to be able to recruit to it a little bit, tell your kids you're going to play in a big league stadium is always nice.
And then I'll go ahead and ask the same. Pretty much, Coach Thompson at all.
Yeah, I agree with what Butch had to say. You go into this environment with your team. We get to take pretty much just one trip before before we start conference play, and this is it. And I've committed to come as much as they want us, and it's real easy for our fans to head down south. It's also easy for the thousands and thousands of alumni in the Metroplex area, and then just Texas alone to come on up. And I don't think we've played a game in there with less than at least 18,000 people, and that was right after COVID. And it's been amazing, and it's just good for our players to play in front of that type of atmosphere. And like I said, it's a bonding thing for us as well. And we have 4 non-conference weekends, and the one we spend on the road has been at this tournament for I think 4 years in a row now, and we've enjoyed it.
Last year there was a lot made of Arkansas playing Oregon State. But this year y'all are playing Kansas State and TCU. You got guys that were on the teams the last couple of years. Just do you sense on your team that there's any level of revenge, or is there any extra excitement getting another crack at those guys?
Well, I hope our guys are just focused in on trying to beat Washington State on the 14th in that weekend. But no, I'm excited to play those guys. The Big 12 has been really good the last few years and forever. I had the opportunity to coach in that league for 5 years, and to play TCU and Kansas State and Michigan. I'm sure they're just excited, number one, to get to play in a big league park. And, as far as who we're playing, obviously we haven't discussed any of that. So I don't have a feel on that. I think that more than anything that we know that we're going to get to play, and that's probably the most exciting part of it.
Andrew, had a pretty tough decision to make with your starting rotation, but before you go to Arlington, you get to play 4 games against Washington State. Is that something that kind of all offseason you and your staff have looked at and thought, okay, we could use this weekend to maybe figure some things out, try a different guy out before we really have to make that decision going into Arlington, cut to 3?
Yeah, I mean, we know who we're probably going to throw game 1 and 2 and 3. 4 might be up in the air. But yeah, we wanted to try to get 4 games in before we headed to Arlington. This gives us an opportunity to maybe have another day to prepare or rest a little bit. We're not having to play on that Tuesday or Wednesday before we head down. But yeah, I mean, like most of these teams that are in these tournaments, lose 80% of your starting lineup. And, in our case, we lost our entire rotation. And I think, our entire outfield and corner infielders and catchers. So we've replacing a lot of guys, and we're just trying to play games and try to get it all figured out before we open conference play down at Ole Miss.